Hi YouTube, welcome back to the Learn Cantonese Fast channel. Today I'm going to talk about Cantonese grammar. In particular, I'm going to talk about pronouns. So first of all, we have subject pronouns and object pronouns. For subject pronouns, we have I, me, we, us, and so on and so forth. So in Cantonese, the subject pronoun is the same as the object pronoun. Okay, so I is the same as me. In both cases, we have the Cantonese sound 我. How do you pronounce 我which is the fourth tone. Alright, so in the plural form we have we or us, in which case we add they. Right? 我哋 they, which is fifth tone. So 我哋 and he and she, we use the same word 佢. So we do not have sexual discrimination in Cantonese. As a matter of fact, all the nouns are neutral unless you add a word in the front. Right? For example, nurse, if we're referring to a male nurse, we call 男護士, female nurse 女護士. Okay, so everything is neutral in Cantonese. So it's the most, well, actually it's the least sexist language in the earth, I think. But anyway, 佢, how do you pronounce?佢is the fourth tone. 佢. And plural form we have 佢哋, they or them. 佢, fourth tone 佢. They,佢哋, them or they. 你 is the singular form of you, and then plural form is 你哋. How do you pronounce? 你哋. For example, we are often bullied by Tom. This is the passive voice. So we, 我哋. We is 我哋. 我哋成日, often 成日. 我哋成日. 俾 is the participle. Okay, so 俾阿 Tom 蝦. 俾阿 Tom 蝦 is bully. Okay, so actually we do not have the Chinese character for this Cantonese sound 蝦. Okay, so we use another word to substitute and just use the sound of the word. Okay, so how do you pronounce it? 我哋我哋聲我哋成日我哋成日俾我哋成日俾我哋成日俾阿 Tom 蝦，所以我哋成日俾阿 Tom 蝦。The active voice is Tom often bullies us. Tom often is 成日, the same thing. 蝦 is bully. 我哋 we. So we, either we or us, we use the same thing 我哋. Okay, so there's no difference between subject and object pronouns in Cantonese. And then number two, we have possessive pronouns. Okay, so for example, my, our, his, her, their, you, your, and your, and so on and so forth. We have almost the same thing as subject and object pronoun, except that sometimes we need to add the quantifying unit. Alright, so what do we mean? Okay, 我 is I or me. But then in the case of my, we add 我 and then the quantifying unit. For example, a dog, the quantifying unit of a dog is 隻, right? A piece of object, which is a non-human object. Right? In that case, we have 隻. 隻, and dog is 狗, 我隻狗. Right? And in other words, we use the same subject and object pronouns, except that if it is quantifiable, then we put the quantifying unit. So for some nouns that are quantifiable, we should use quantifying unit following the subject or object pronoun. But then if it's not quantifiable, then we just use the same thing as the subject or the object pronoun. Or sometimes we can use the word ge. So instead of using the quantifying unit, we can use ge. Right? But ge is not really suggested most of the time because the word ge oftentimes can be omitted. Right? So in other words, we either use the quantifying unit or we use ge, but then we can even omit ge. Right? So for example, his last name is very special. His, 佢, whether it's his or her, the same thing, 佢. Last name, 姓, is. We're supposed to have 係 here, but then 係 can be omitted because it is unambiguous. So when it's unambiguous, the verb to be is can be omitted. 好特別, 好 is very 特別 is special. Right? 佢嘅姓, his last name, very special. Or in this case, ge can be replaced by the quantifying unit 個. Okay? But 佢嘅姓 is okay. 個 is also okay in this case. Alright, so how do you pronounce 佢嘅佢嘅姓佢嘅姓好好佢嘅姓好得佢嘅姓好特別佢嘅姓好特別。Okay, so another example, her home is beautiful. Well, home in Cantonese is not quantifiable. Because home is not like a house. A house is quantified, but a home is just a concept. It's not a concrete thing. So 佢 the same as his. 佢屋企 home. 佢屋企. So you see immediately that we do not use ge, or you can still use ge, but 佢屋企 is good enough. Or 佢嘅屋企 is still okay. But okay is not quantifiable, so you don't use anything here. You don't have 隻 or 間 or whatever. Okay, 佢屋企好靚, very beautiful, very beautiful. 佢間屋企好靚, 佢間屋企好靚, 佢屋企好靚. Okay. And a third example, I really like his dog. His dog, 佢 dog is quantifiable. That's why we have 佢隻狗. 佢一隻 is the quantifying unit. Like 中意, really like 好中意. I really like his dog. 我好中意 I really like 好中意 his dog. 佢隻狗 Love can also be referred by 中意. Okay, so 中意 is either love or like. I'll let you figure out the pronunciation by yourself. And then the other type of possessive pronouns, mine, ours, his, theirs, yours, and so on and so forth. So in this case, we do not use quantifying units. Instead, we should use ge. Okay, we should use ge. Always use ge. 佢嘅 is like Tom's. Tom 嘅 yours. 你嘅 yours. 你嘅. If it's Tom's, then we still say Tom 嘅 Tom 嘅. Okay, so everything has a ge. Okay, so 我嘅我哋嘅佢嘅佢哋嘅你嘅你哋嘅. We add ge to the end of the subject or object pronoun. Well, which is, in this case is the same. Here we do not use quantifying units, as I've said, and then ge sometimes can be replaced by ga. I noticed that the tone of ge and ga are the same, except the pronunciation is different. So, for example, that wallet is mine. 嗰個 wallet. That was, as I've said last time, we do not use the, so we have to use something like that. 個. Or you can say the wallet is mine in English, but then we do not say the in Cantonese. 嗰個 is the quantifying unit for wallet. Wallet is 銀包, is silver. 包 is something for wrapping things. So you wrap it up, so you wrap up your money. 銀包 is wallet. 係 is 我嘅 mine, or 我嘅 我嘅. 嗰個 that wallet 銀包 is 係 我嘅，嗰個銀包係我嘅，嗰個銀包係我㗎。And then Cantonese reflexive pronouns, we have 自己 self, myself, yourself, ourselves, and so on and so forth. Again, we add 自己 at the end of the subject or object pronoun. For example, 我自己，我哋自己 ourselves, 佢自己 himself, herself, the same thing, themselves, 佢哋自己 and so on and so forth. But then in Cantonese, we can even omit 我 which is the subject or object pronoun. We just say 自己. Right? Whenever it is unambiguous, we can omit the subject or object pronoun. For example, I won't go by myself. 我唔會自己去。So here the subject is 我. So 自己 self must be referring to myself 我。Okay? So 我唔會自己去。I won't go 唔會 will not 去 go by myself 自己。Okay? 我 I will not by myself go. Alright, another example, they need to rely on themselves. They need to rely on themselves. 佢哋 need 要靠 rely on themselves 自己。You can also say 佢哋要靠佢哋自己 but 佢哋 here is omitted because it's unambiguous. You just say 自己 instead of 佢哋自己。So 佢哋要靠自己。佢哋要靠自己。Finally, we have Cantonese destination pronouns, which we have already discussed last time because we use destination pronouns to replace the article the in English. Right? So the must be referred to by either this or that with the quantifying unit. Right? So this 呢 plus the quantifying unit. For example, 呢隻狗 狗 is the dog. The dog, we say this dog, but then we need to say something like 呢隻 which is the quantifying unit. And that dog we refer to as 嗰隻狗. Okay? So when we use this, when you use that, well, this is something which is very close to you. Or this refers to something that you can point at. That means something that is very far away from here, or that means something that you refer by not pointing your finger. You cannot immediately point your finger at. So in any case, if you want to learn more about pronouns, you can go to my website www.freehongkong.net. This is about what I'm trying to say today, so I'll see you next time. Bye.